Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to animate a floating action button in Figma just like this using interactive components. This floating action button is commonly used as a widget to combine multiple actions into one single button. So as you can see, I have multiple actions like, star, and save, and I also have this button to turn it, to close it and open it. So that's the whole point of this floating action button. It combines multiple actions into one single button so that you can expand and close it. So that's what you're going to learn in this video. So if this sounds like something interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So there are two methods to achieving this. The first one is to use auto layout, and the other one is to use just frames and not auto layout frames. So we are going to do the auto layout one, then we will also do the frame. So let's start with auto layouts. So I've created the buttons already. I have the save, the heart button, and the star, and I have the FAB, floating action button. That's what FAB means. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all 4 buttons and put them in an auto layout frame and set the spacing to 20. Then I'm going to duplicate the frame. Then I'm going to come here. I'm going to break this. First of all, before I bring this, I'm going to come here because I want this icon to spin and to rotate a bit and change to this. So I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees or 90 degrees like this. Then I'm going to set it to absolute position. Then I'm now going to bring this into this button. Then I'm going to bring it forward. So I'm going to send the both icon to the back. Then I'm going to turn the opacity of both icon to 0. Then I'm going to change the color of this icon, the add icon. I'm going to change it to white, right? So now these two buttons are looking alike, but this is the open state. This is going to be the opened state, sorry, closed state, and this will be the opened state. So first, on the closed state, I'm going to reduce the spacing. So you can notice that when I'm reducing the spacing, it's going upwards, right? And that's to tell you that that's the flaw with using auto layout. Although there's a trick to it, we can still fix it, but this is just the flaw. This is why you might find the other method easier. So now, what's the trick that we're going to do here? We're just going to enter these 2 frames. Not enter it yet. I'm just going to select the 2 frames and I'm going to rotate it vertically. I'm going to flip it vertically. So once I flip it vertically, I'll just hit the enter key once to enter into the frames by 1 layer so that I can select all the child items inside. Then I flip them back. So I flip them back to 0, but the parent frame is on 180. But because I flip it to 0, everything the whole frame too will go back to 0. So then I rearrange it. I'm just going to rearrange it. Bring this one down, just like that. Yes, so now if I reduce the gap, it comes down. But another thing is that it stacks on top of this button. So we are just going to change this to first on top. We're going to do the same for this. We're going to say first on top. So once we do first on top, if we reduce the gap or like this, it stacks behind, right? Which makes sense. So the final step in this is to combine these two and turn them to a component, right? So I'm going to select these two, turn them to a component. So I'm going to create component set with it because I don't want it to be a single component. I want to switch between states inside the component. So I'm going to switch to prototype mode. Then I connect this to this, and I will say linear on top. Yes, smart animate, just like that. Then I can copy this. I can return this arrow back to this so that when I click this, it changes back. So now the final thing I want to do here is to resize this. Let's see if it will work. Okay, so I'm going to resize this down to fit the size of only this button, so that these two buttons will have the same size. So this is still going to be there. It's just an overflow. You can see if I clip this, it will disappear, but if I unclip it, it opens. So I'm going to pick this, copy it, and paste it to replace what I have here, right? So now let's test our button. So I'm going to open a small window to present this screen in a mobile frame. Then when I click this, it opens, and when I click it, it closes. So there's a small mistake. So I'm supposed to rotate this because I want this to turn to I'm going to rotate it by 45 because I want it to turn to a close button. Yes, just like that. So when I click this, you can see that the icon, the both icon will spin a bit, just rotate a bit, then change to close. Then when I click it back, it comes back to this. So that's the first method. Now let's go to the second method. So I'm just going to bring one of these. No, let me just bring two of them out. Okay, one of them is good enough. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this, and I'll switch it to opened. Then I'm going to detach them from the instance so that I can get them as normal regular frames back. So I'm going to change this back to open. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to change it to open. Then I'm going to change this to closed. So now let's click these two and fit the frame back. Let me take this back to 20 so that we have it the way we had it before. So I'm going to do this, and I'm also going to let this fit the frame. Yes, so we're back to where we are before. So let's say we want to use frames and not auto layout now. So what we are going to do is I'm going to remove the auto layouts on these two frames. I'm going to remove it. Yes, I think this is no. I'm going to click one of them, remove the auto layout, click the second one, and remove the auto layout. Right. So I'm going to select these three. Then I'm going to combine them like this. I'm going to set them to center. Then I'm going to move them down to the back of this manually, right? Instead of using auto layout, I'm just going to move it manually. Then I'm going to leave this one like this, right? Because they are the same. So for your components or for your interaction to work perfectly and smoothly, just the way this has worked, for you to get the best result from your animations that you're creating with components, make sure that the layers in both components that you want to animate, especially if you want to use smart animate and you want the transition to be very smooth, make sure that all layers inside component A or instance A is the same as the components in instance B. So if you check this instance, I have FAB, I have save, I have heart, I have star. If I click this, I have FAB, I have save, I have heart, I have star, but they are not just in the same position, and which is why we want to combine them into components so that this will bring them into place and this will compress them back. So this is just the difference. So if you are using frame, you are still going to use auto layout to arrange it. Then after you finish arranging it, you can remove the auto layout. Then and the good thing about this one is that you don't have to flip the frame just like the way we did for auto layout. You don't have to flip it vertically. So I'm going to create a component set with this, and I'm going to do the same prototyping action that I applied to the first one. I'm going to connect this to this on top like that, and I'm going to connect this back. So you can even decide to leave it like this, but because you want these buttons to be clickable on their own, you don't want to leave it like that. So I'm going to bring it down again to fit the height of this, right? So I'm going to copy this icon and I'm going to use it to replace, or let me make a duplicate because this one is for auto layouts. So let's make a duplicate for frame. So this is it. So let's see how it looks like. So you can see it's literally the same thing. If I click this, you can see. If I click this, what happens? You can see it's just very good. I think both methods works. Whichever one you prefer is fine, but I just decided to show you both methods so that you can know how to do it if you ever want to make a decision of what to choose. So that will be it for this video, and if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and I will surely respond to it. And that will be it for this video. I will see you in the very next.